Has your side moved on from the last performance that they put out in the field?
Oh, well, our training performances would indicate that, yeah. So, but, we've got to get up there tomorrow night and get our jobs done and do it properly and not do what we did last week.
How hard is that to try and get a side back from a flogging like that?
I think with this team it's that hard. I don't think they know they were better than that. They've won 7 games in a row. They just had a bad night and we've moved on pretty quickly with it as coaches and that, so I don't think we should be carrying too much baggage with us tomorrow.
The Troll's back next week. You can't come back quick enough?
No, but we're in our 4th game without him now. We've won 2 out of 3, so but he's a big player for us, and Cam Murray is the other one that's missing. Those two really bring a lot to the team, but as I said, we've done well without them, so we'll just keep going.
Wayne, can we ask you about Brisbane? Obviously you're finishing up at South at the end of this year. Are you keen to come back to the Broncos? There's been a lot of talk and speculation about it.
Well, Adam and myself are going out this Saturday to see if we can find an apartment we live together. But after that, I'm not sure what I'm doing.
But would you like to come back to the Broncos?
Well, I'm coming back to Brisbane. As I said, I've made no decisions about what the future holds, whatever. All I know is I'm coming back. And at this point in time, I don't really have any offers on the table. So.
Yeah, but what would you like to do?
That's not what I'd like to do. It's it's what other people want to do. I can't make decisions about my future. Someone else has to make them. So, in other words, they've got to go to the negotiating table with me, whatever. So, I've heard from nobody. So I'll just get on with life. And as I said a month or so ago,
Dave Donaghy says the door's ajar at the Broncos.
Well, I appreciate what he said. He's been very, very generous to me. But as I said, there's been no suggestion from anybody that I'm coming back, except a lot of media speculation and talk by whoever, but not from me. It hasn't come from me. So.
Dave Ford, you'd pick up the phone and talk to him about it?
You'd call me, I'll pick up the phone. I won't tell you much, but I'll pick up the phone.
Wayne, what about Adam signing at Brisbane? Brisbane obviously very happy. He would have sought your advice on the club and the city. What advice did you give him when he was trying to make his decisions?
What he gave me, I gave him.
You gave him?
Oh, well, obviously favourable.
Yeah.
Broncos have been a great club. It's a great city, Brisbane, and he's got a young family, and he'll enjoy his time here. And Broncos got a wonderful player coming here, and what he brings off the field as well. He's a really special bloke. So South Sydney will be sorry to lose him. We all are, but that's the way it worked out. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't the club's. It's just a situation we find ourselves in with salary cap. But he's made a good choice. I know he's happy with it, and he'll make a difference.
I'm probably a little bit unfair that the club's copying a little bit too for letting him go, because it's a business now. Well,
it doesn't matter who we let go, we would have copped it. So it's it is a business, and unfortunately that's what it is. And he had to look after his future. The club had to look after what they saw in their best interest going forward. It wasn't an offer on the table for him, but it's just. It wasn't the amount that he can get somewhere else and the time that he can get. He guaranteed 3 years, so and he has to look after himself, and he's got a young family, and he's got to do what's right by them. And so.
There were reports around that the reason that South Sydney let him go is because you were piling an offer for Cody. Is there any truth to that?
No, there's no truth to that. It has nothing to do with it at all. 22, so we won't start going through that process till this time next year, and they'll know where they are with salary cap, what they can offer and what they can't offer, but that had no truth whatsoever.
What do you love most about coaching Adam?
Oh, I like his calmness and his fun. He's a bit like Alf. He's not as bad as Alf. He's not the biggest pest as Alf, but he's not far off it. He can be a bit of a pest, but he's got a great sense of humour and really balanced guy. I mean, I take captaincy of a club extremely seriously, and it's some guys there that a couple of them could have done the job, but I wanted him to do the job because I just thought he had all those attributes, and that makes good captains and makes great teammates, and that's why I fit well into Brisbane. He brings those qualities, and that's what they'll get the most benefit out. He's not going to probably score him 80-metre tries because that's not what he does, but he's going to help other guys score 80-metre tries, and that's what they probably lack right now.
And do you think he can be the best thing the Broncos have had since Alf?
Oh, that's hard to say. I mean, Alf's never been replaced. Kevin did a great job there for us in 2000. Kevin was a wonderful halfback in his own right. Since that period of time, I suppose, there's a lot of young men have played halfback at the Broncos, but, Ben Hunt was split.
Shane Perry, though.
Yeah, that's right. He did a great job with Shane Perry, but it's been a bit of a Achilles heel for the Broncos for a long time. Ben Hunt did a good job there as well, but it's just been a tough area to halves and 5/8. Yeah.
You got an opinion?
Wayne, why do you think that is, that we haven't been able to find someone since Alf? That's really
well,
position.
We had Brett Camorley until his manager talked him out of him. I mean, he was at the height of his fame when we tried to get him. So it's not that we haven't. And we had Scott Prince, and you know, he broke a leg twice, and then he did a groin, and then he lost a bit of confidence, and he thought we didn't want him, and he went to West Tigers. You know, so there's been a bit of tragedy around trying to get that player as well over those years. So, and then I was missing for 6 or 7 years, so I wasn't involved then. But I came back, and Ben Hunt was here, and he was good for us at the time, but he got an offer that we couldn't match, and you know, we had to let him go. So
A lot of people are drawing a line to the fact that Adam's coming here. He might have some inside information that potentially could be coming home to reunite with you. And you know,
no, that was never part of his decision or mine. And at some stage, he did. You know, we had that conversation, but I said, mate, there's no guarantees I'm getting where I'm going in Brisbane, what's going on. You've got to make the best decision for you and your family, and he's done that. He's done it of his own free will. But as I said, we're happy to share a flat together.
If you don't go to the Broncos, there's going to be a side here, an expansion side here. Do you have any preference on where you would go?
No, I don't have any preference. I just haven't even got an offer for there. That's substantial, you know. So look, as Ben, you've got to understand, I'm kind of quite serious about. Yeah. I don't have anything on the table. I haven't made any decisions. I am coming home.
Where would you like? Where do you think there should be an expansion side?
Oh, I don't want to buy into that. They're all sitting in town now talking about it. No, there's great opportunities in all those areas they're talking about. You know, Redcliffe have done a great job. Ipswich done a good job. Easter in there. And they've got a great club, and they've done a good job. So, as I said, it's up to the powers to be, not me.
You were instrumental in building the culture of the Broncos when you first came here. Would you like the challenge? Would you like the challenge of building a club from scratch again?
Yeah, I would actually. I can go back to the Broncos. We were very deliberate about things that we did and why we did them, and it was to pay huge benefits for us later on. And they've got to be built from the bottom up, and they've got to be built with a strong foundation. And you've got to be prepared to take some pain, and we took some pain in the early years. Everyone thought we should have won a premiership long before we did, but we got it right. And and there's a fair bit of excitement about that, the ability to start something from scratch. Nothing on the page, and you can make it into something pretty special.
So you want to be involved coaching or any position if you.
Well, it's not my again, it's not my say about if someone makes me an offer how they see my role. So the things I can't elaborate on today because I don't know. But it appeals to me starting at a new club again, because I certainly know how to build them, and that's what you need at the beginning is how it's built.
What qualities, Wayne, should that new club have? And you can't really say which one you like, but what should they actually bring to the game, whichever new club it is?
Obviously, participation's a real issue. The ability to, obviously to be in an area where crowds want to buy into coming to football, because Broncos have been long-term club now. Titans have been here a long time, so you've got to try and get new memberships, all that type of stuff. So they're the keys to it.
There's obviously some changes with Magic Round to post-match presses, and I think there's going to be sort of fan engagement. Are you willing to take part in that sort of?
No, I'm not, but I'm only sticking up for you guys. I thought they were doing you out of a job. Yeah. Okay, and you're all kind of copping it. So, and I've stood up for you, so I hope you appreciate it.
So what's going to happen, Wayne, if they make you go and sit in the forecourt? You're not going to attend?
They can't make me go and sit in it, mate. Unless they physically take me there, they won't get me there. So that ain't going to happen.
Right. So
on
I'm saving your jobs here.
No, I know.
But other people start asking the questions that you asked me. God, anyone could do it. I thought it was a specialist job, but maybe it's not.
Why aren't you a fan of it?
It opens it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of it because I know that some of the situations that could happen regarding that, and I don't want to be exposed to that.
Wayne, just on the game, they're doing the crackdown, they've sent memos out or whatever for contact to the head. Is it you guys just sort of discuss that, focusing on that?
No, I don't discuss that. I don't teach my players to hit anybody in the head. So I don't have to talk about it. I haven't mentioned it to them because it's not the way that I want them to play. And so does it happen sometimes? Yes, it does. Does someone make a bad decision sometimes? Yes, he does. Well, the consequences are going to be there for him, and I'm happy about that. But it's not what I coach, it's not what I believe in, and never have, so I don't have the team talk about it because they know my standards.
Just to get on today, what we're seeing today, the players all mixing with the locals and that up here, it's good to see.
It's a special group of players, these guys. They amaze me how good they are. We read about all the bad things, and that's in the absolute minority, but we never read about all the really good things they do and the way they care for people and the time they give to people, and nothing's an effort to them.
Wayne, just with the presses, you risk being fined if you don't turn up. I take it
Wow.
you've got plenty.
Well, I'm prepared to do the press conference. I'm not prepared to go to that place. I'm not saying I'm not doing press conferences. I'm saying I'm not going to that place.
Yeah.
So, you know, if they want to find me, well, that's their prerogative. And my prerogative is not to go if I don't want to. Okay, but I will be available for the press conference.
You take
So I've got to
interview?
assume they're going to change rules again.
So you'll take interviews of journalists one-on-one?
In the right place, yeah. Yeah, down where we normally have our press conferences.
Geez, you've changed.
Well, I'm just trying to be nice.
I said he'd pay you fine.
No, I did not.
No, I bet you didn't say that. He's still got his school lunch money, Dobbo.
With Adam Reynolds being 30, are his best years seriously ahead of him? Can you see a lot more good footy in playing?
Well, I can't see why not. He's you know, got no major injury problems. He's got good knees. He's got, you know, shoulders are good. He's competes good. But, you know, one of his key things here will be his ability to manage the team, you know, and that's what they need. Sometimes you don't have to be the star player. You let everyone else be the stars because of what you bring, and that's what he'll bring. He'll help everybody else play better.
Yep.
And that's just back with us for a week. When he missed a week, I just realised, you know, how much it meant to us. He'd come back out, he was directing everybody here today, telling them what to do, where to go, whatever. And every team needs that. And that's what halfbacks bring, and he does it really well.
I doubt it's been a distraction to him, but do you think it'll be a relief to him to have it settled for the rest of the year?
Yeah, it hasn't been a big distraction for him because I think he said pretty clear initially about that he wasn't going to stay because he obviously wasn't happy with the offer. And, you know, to South's credit, they haven't played around. They've stayed strong to their position. And so I think, you know, he made that decision. He just had to get the right place to go to where he felt most comfortable, and he's picked Brisbane.
Should the Broncos make him captain next year?
Oh, that's the Broncos' call. It's not my call. Yeah.
All right.
Righto, thank you.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you.